morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is ShockWavee, and today we're going to be starting episode 1 of our Meet the Splat creators. And we're starting off with a bang here. We've got that SRB2 dude here with us today. How are we doing?
I'm chilling, dude.
Excellent.
I'm doing pretty good and just waking up.
Yeah, excellent. It's going to be 12 p.m. roughly for you.
It's 12 p.m. right now.
Excellent. So anyone that doesn't know what we're doing, we're just going to be, I'll be asking a couple questions back and forth. Nice conversation going on here, just to get a grasp of some Splatoon YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and all that. And we're just going to be chilling in some leagues. So hope you guys enjoy, and we're just going to get started here. We could do like semi-serious, and I've got some questions lined up. I'll also have questions open for people in the chat if I can keep up.
It's all good.
So we'll do our best. We'll start with the basic, what hooked you to Splatoon kind of stuff there, and then we'll get into maybe some content creation kind of questions,
Sure.
all that. So yeah, what hooked you to Splatoon straight away? Obviously you would have seen the trailer at E3 and all that, like most people did.
Yeah.
And all that.
I'd say the things that got me hooked is just the way the game felt, and for Splatoon 1 mainly.
Yep.
The game just felt so smooth, so good. It was a new way to play a shooter.
Yep.
A third-person shooter,
Yeah.
with the motion and control and all that. And that was one of the things that kind of drew me into it, because it was just wow, this thing feels
it felt refreshing.
It's like a mouse and a... Yeah, it's really refreshing. It's like a mouse and a keyboard on a controller. I mean, I've played a bunch of shooters from Quake to Call of Duty to Doom even.
Yep.
And this was just real. It was just kind of up my alleyway, since it's it's kind of aim, movement, and positioning all in one, and it's just extremely fast paced too. So
I also found that
cool.
with most shooters nowadays, you kind of just have typical, you kill people and there's just one objective. As with Splatoon, you've got to learn motion controls while aiming, and then you also have the paint mechanic. You got to think about that as well as objective play and all that. So there's a lot of aspects you have to think about while you're playing this game, especially competitively.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's just it's just a lot of things in one, to be honest. So,
and I
think it's just go on.
I was just gonna say, I feel that's one reason, because it's so different to every other shooter. To say people that just pick up Valorant, it's easy to kind of understand the game. But as for Splatoon, it's even my parents, when they watch me play, it's bro, there's all this ink flying around. I've got no clue what's happening. And I feel that's the same with a lot of other people that see the game for the first time, that they don't understand what's happening. And I think I'll lead on to this a bit later about why Esports and why it kind of struggles in that area and getting a lot of viewership just from people that don't really know what the game is.
Yeah. I think it's going off that too. It's I think when people see it first glance too, it kind of can look a little bit it looks fun for one, but it can be a little bit overwhelming too. But I think when you start playing it, it's it's very, very easy to pick up, and then you kind of just kind of get hooked and just get really into it. And, all that type of stuff too.
And for me, when I first saw the game, because I didn't play from the get-go like a lot of people did, I had a Wii U, but I kind of just played Mario Kart and just kind of chilled. And I would always watch Nickelodeon as a kid, because when that first came out, I was 13, 14, whatever. And I always just thought it's a bit too childish for me. I don't know, all this kid squid stuff and this paint flying around. And I would always play NBA because I'm a big basketball fan. And that's what my mates would play. No one really played it or had a Wii U at all. So I never really got hooked until I had a Switch, and I had Breath of the Wild, and then this Splatoon came out. I'm like, I might as well just get it and see what's going on. And it just took up from there, which is great.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's first glance too. It's just you kind of look at it and just think, oh, that thing's for babies or something.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of just a thing with Nintendo games in general, where it's like, you know, they kind of, I guess the general public audience, however you want to call it, just kind of like gives it that reputation.
Yeah.
Of it's for this certain age group, but like when you like try it out for yourself, you kind of understand. Like you just have a lot of fun either way. Like I think it's just one of those sense of games where it's everyone.
Yeah,
so.
And I think that I don't think a lot of people talked about this, but like with the Wii, that was kind of what it was all about. Like, you know, party games and all that kind of stuff for kids and whatnot. And then that kind of transferred over. Oh my god, to like the Wii U. And all that, and then people kind of got a bit older, they got their PlayStation 4 and whatever, and they kind of grew out of that, and I think that reputation is still stuck with Nintendo. Obviously they want to be family friendly, but just, you know, it's made for kids, blah blah blah, and all that.
Hey, we won.
Yeah, nice. I was kind of just going around killing things, wasn't too sure what's going on.
Yeah, same.
Just trying to see if chat, if anyone... No one really has any actual questions so far. Let's move on to my next one. Just some quick-fired ones. First main in, like, competitive, like, weapon.
First main... It was like... So I had like two. It was like Splattershot Pro and Splatterscope.
Okay.
Like the very first two.
Yep. Okay, easy. Did you look up to anyone, like whether that was content-wise or, you know, a player at the time?
No, actually,
No?
because I mean, at the time, like
There was no one really playing, kind of thing.
I mean, people played, but like I didn't really look up to people.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I guess in terms of content, that's kind of like a different thing. Like not specifically with Splatoon. Like with Splatoon comp, I didn't have really anyone to look up to because I kind of made things up myself. Like I kind of just did my own thing and it worked. And in Splatoon 1, that's like I think that's kind of where like a lot of my competitive success came from because I kind of just made things up and kind of went with it and it worked and it just, you know, built off it too. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about. Like, you know, some people looked up to YouTubers that just played the game from day one. Like Zach's Got Gaming, I know a lot of people. He just like played the game from the get-go, and people saw him and then got hooked to the game via that. So I thought it might have been a similar thing there, where you just saw the YouTuber and then that kind of encouraged you to play the game a bit more.
How I like got into comp was kind of like, what's it called? It was like before even Splatoon even came out.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense
so
at
people
all.
Were just getting
it's
hyped
like
people.
Yeah. It was like when Squidboards was a thing.
Yep.
Like it was. I remember it was like Squidboards became a thing, and a bunch of people were just like getting into groups to like preemptively play comp competitive. I remember too at the time it was like I was within the like Squid Squads, which was like it was like it was like a clan but with 4 different teams in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I played within Squid Squad clubs and spades.
Yep.
And then basically spades turned into like a different entity of a bunch of teams like Team Paradise and Bittersweet Gaming and all those types of stuff too. So that's pretty much how I got into it from comp. Yeah. It was like literally like a week before, and I just like I remember when I got Splatoon like for the first day, I like played it for like 12 hours straight and just basically grinding, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people wouldn't have gone through the game that way. Like, how many people do you reckon were actually a part of the Squidboards and all that from like the first week or two?
I mean, there are a couple people from today that probably are. I mean, very, very few of them. Very, very few of them. They're not like, I guess, at the same point as they are now. I think maybe people from like NSTC. Yeah. If anyone remembers that, like, I think that was one of the teams that was also there too, like, way, way back. Yeah. But you know, there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, someone in chat, Unseen, has a question. Did you ever feel motivated to play Splatoon 2? If so, what brought you back to it?
Back to Splatoon? I mean...
You never really left.
It's kind of hard to say that I never really left.
Yeah.
I've always been here, you know? So it's like... I mean, if we're going to talk about, like, where I've been in terms of, like, playing competitive, like, I definitely still do play, but just every now and then, like, I do definitely get into, like, a scrim, like, maybe once a week or once a month or anything like that. Like, you know, it's very slow, and it's, like, since I haven't been on, like, I guess, Team Olive, or since Team Olive basically disbanded, like, I haven't had really much reason to play, because that's pretty much why, like, the only reason why I was playing a lot of composition, because I was on a team and I wanted to, like, you know, fulfill a responsibility of, you know, wanting to play for my teammates too at the same time, because we all wanted to play comp at a really high level. I mean, I would still play now if I had a team. I'm still looking for a team, but, you know, I mean, there's not really much for me to want to be on a team, like, really deeply, so that makes sense.
So, like, obviously you make a lot of content right now, so you're probably a bit more focused on that side of things rather than comp. I'm assuming when Splat 3 comes out, you would want to be maybe more into comp than you are right now?
Yeah, probably. A lot, very much probably. Like, because I think around that time a lot of things might be happening, and I hopefully a lot of things might be happening. Yeah. And I'd want to get myself into that as well. So I mean,
that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, I just got destroyed.
Yeah, I've been kind of
zoning out a bit.
I've been zoning out, been trying my best to get some things done, but it might be one of these games.
The last guy's in mid, he's not rushing. Alright, let's see if we can clutch this out. It's the last 30 seconds. Oh no, he's got one clam.
They got two. Alright, I got one.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
That was interesting.
We have to get a lot of clams here. Shot just in street.
Oh.
There's like 3 sitting on the goal. Oh, that guy fed. See if I can jet that.
Okay, one.
I got sniped.
Oh, I might be able to get a ball in at least.
Oh, we got a beacon there.
Not gonna be much.
Let's see if this ball can
oh yeah, we do have a beacon though.
I'll try and grab pity. Just jump. Oh, I couldn't jump to the guy on the goal. That's so sad. I wouldn't have time anyway.
Dang. The moment I like the moment I stopped talking, I just popped up so hard there. It's crazy.
Alright, so next up, did you always intend to make content for Splatoon from the start? Or what was like kind of the development behind you making content to where you are now?
It's kind of like a yes and a no, if that makes sense. Because it's like, I mean, I saw Splatoon 1 at in the 2014 E3, and I was like, yo, this game is sick. I want to make videos about it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be a really cool game. It's going to be something different, and I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun playing it. And I was right in that part. But before all of that, I was like primarily just a Sonic YouTuber. And I just made I made what's it called? Sonic fan videos. Like fan game videos and stuff like that, like playthroughs on that. And I mean, I kind of had a lot of experience by doing that, because I did that for like 3 years.
Yep.
And I mean, until right now, I've been a content creator for at least, wait, is it 10 years now? Yeah, probably 10 years now, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 10 years. I guess it was 9 years like last year, but yeah. It's been about 10 years since I've been doing it, so it's like, you know, when I wanted to make Splatoon content, and when Splatoon finally came out, I didn't have exactly had a plan. I just wanted to, like, I wanted to see first how good I could get at this game, and then of course show that, because I knew it was going to be a new game, and it's something that I'm probably going to enjoy. And you know, if there's like a fan base behind it, and people wanting to find someone who is good at the game,
Yep.
then I wanted to be that person to show off that, hey, I'm pretty good.
Yep.
You know, so
I feel like that was
just kinda how it
like
went.
my rush with ARMS at the start when it came out. I'm like, ooh, new whatever the hell this is, like just random fighting game. I'm gonna try and get good at this. And you know, that lasted for about a month, and then I couldn't really find
it kind of just fizzled out.
I couldn't really find a comp scene that was like, you know, full on into it like Splatoon is. I guess it's just kind of a roll of the dice whether you find the right people that have the same like motivations as you. But I remember picking up day one with my friends because it was his birthday on that day when it came out. We all got it. And it was good. It was good at the time, you know.
Yeah, I think like a few years back, I actually tried to. Like I always wondered what happened to AUNZ because like at the start it was like everyone was talking about it. It was so much fun to play. And then I kind of tried to like find people who actually were playing it like a lot, and I couldn't find like one YouTuber who's like or any sort of like community that's like playing a whole bunch, you know. Yeah. So that's kind of sad to see, but
yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't know. It kind of like what you said. It had a good first month. It just didn't have any like follow up to that. Like no content, no like scene to keep that going. It was kind of just like casuals attempting to learn the game because it was fun at the start, and it kind of just died off from there. It's a bit sad, but
dang.
But
it's so sad.
Yeah, well, I want to follow up from this because since you were there from the start of Splatoon 1, what do you think was different that Splatoon did, like the scene, the community, compared to like ARMS?
I think with Splatoon, since it was like, I guess it's because like other communities, like Mario Kart and Smash at the same time, were pretty decently established, and they were kind of like, I mean, I just remember like a lot of people from those kinds of games were wanting to like dip their foot into Splatoon, and they basically got hooked because it was a really fun game at the time.
Yep.
And I think also on top of that, what's it called? On top of that, then like we had forums as well. You know, we had forums so we can actually talk and conversate to other people who wanted to also play at the same time. So I think that kind of helped. Like when you look at ARMS, I don't think ARMS really had any of that. So
nah, it didn't.
I think that's kind of one thing that kind of helped with Splatoon. And then Discord happened.
Yeah.
Yo, back in the day too, like when we used to play comp, like we didn't have Discord, so we had to actually use talk to each other through squid boards, and then like make a Skype group or a TeamSpeak group just to be able to chill with us people then. Back then.
Okay. Wait. So when was Discord actually like? I'm speaking because I'm only 18, and I basically just used like PS3 voice chat back in the day, like early high school days, and even primary school, whatever. When did like Discord kind of come out? I can't remember.
It was like really late 2015, or like it's around that point. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I remember it like really like taking over the Splatoon scene like around the like 2016 era.
Yep.
Like, early 2016.
Yeah.
And like basically everybody was going into it. So
yeah.
I mean, I think that definitely helped because then it helped like it made it so that people are a lot more closer to each other because they would be like almost talking to each other almost every day and all that type of stuff.
I feel like that might have been the case, correct me if I'm wrong, but like with most Nintendo games is because, you know, Wii U didn't have voice chat and all that compared to like PS3 and Xbox. So I think the Nintendo games, like even Smash becoming a bit more competitive or any other games, like just having a group of people to talk to about the game would have definitely helped.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things that I think helped a whole lot, and I'm extremely grateful that it's actually, well, it became so popular because I mean, I could not. I mean, nowadays I can't imagine like
life without Discord. And so
yeah, life without Discord.
Yeah, like if you think like imagine if Discord wasn't made and we had to use like Skype group chats and stuff.
Oh my
like,
god.
How would you even meet new people because you're so limited to what you can do compared to a whole Discord server?
Yeah, I think the bubbles, like the bubbles for Splatoon would be extremely small. Like I guess people's friend groups wouldn't be as expensive.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, when you look at like Smash, like it can kind of work. So I mean, it makes it better, obviously, but like it worked really well because many of the tournaments back in those days, well, still in these days, is that it's offline. So you know, you would basically go to those events and meet a bunch of people, and like you would widen your friend group because of that.
Yep.
But with Splatoon, I guess the very first one, it wasn't as possible because like doing like LAN events wasn't as easy as Smash as well.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Because it's like it didn't exactly have. I mean, it had LAN support, but like it was made so complicated.
Yeah.
To just pull it off, you know. So.
We got someone said Discord came out in May 2015, but wasn't super popular until 2016.
Yeah, that's it. I remember using TeamSpeak still to like the end of 2015, and then we stopped all that. So.
Yeah. Alright. How often? This can be both for when you started making content and currently now. How often do you spend making content, whether that's editing videos, you know, making thumbnails and all that?
So,
like, just how much time do you put into it? Because I know a lot of people underestimate. Oh, it's just easy. You just do a couple cuts here and there, and you just post to YouTube, make a thumbnail, and that's it.
Right. It is a lot.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm only one person. A lot of people who also do YouTube probably have like an editor, a thumbnail maker. At least for myself, I'm doing everything by myself. So, I mean, there are some videos that will not take too much time. Like, it'll probably take you like 30 minutes to edit, and you know, and it'll take like maybe like, depending on your PC, it'll take like however much time to render out.
Yep.
But including that, you have to also do the thumbnail, which sometimes can take like 30 minutes to an hour or more.
Yep.
If you want to make it really good.
Yep.
There are some videos that I have to make that take like 8 hours or a few days to even just get done.
Or to make the thumbnail? Or
no,
the
just
video,
the video
yeah,
itself.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, it'll take me hours on hours
Yep.
just to make the video. Because you want to make it good, of course. So, like, you know, you have to put a lot of time into that sort of stuff. And then, of course, you have to wait for it to render. Like, if we're talking about, like, a tearing it up video, which is, like, it's a video series that takes... I mean, the video itself is really easy to make, but because the render time, sometimes the render times can take 4 hours just in one. And then the upload time, depending on my upload speed of the day, sometimes it's either 6 to 8 hours. And then I have to, of course, have to make the thumbnail for that, and then I have to schedule it, and then I have to do the description.
It's a lot of effort.
You put a ton of work. It's a lot of work.
You really have to love your job to be in on this grind.
For sure. Like, I'm just saying, like, for anybody, if you don't like it, like, if you don't enjoy video editing and stuff like that, then it's gonna be extremely hard. And you're probably gonna have to find a video editor for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Just to get through that, like, initial grind until, you know, maybe eventually you start making enough money that you can get yourself an editor. Because I know, I don't know if Kara, like, he gets his thumbnails made by someone. I can't remember who exactly.
I think his name is Eris.
Yeah. I don't know if he has to pay for that or if they have, like, a deal or something. But, yeah.
I mean, I'll think that he pays them.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think it's like whatever money that channel makes, it's probably like half and half because like they're both putting a bunch of work into it. So.
Yeah.
Or whichever.
Just leading off that, what kind of editing software do you use? Is that pure?
I've been using Vegas Pro for like, well, since I started YouTube.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I used to make skateboard videos back in the day, and I didn't used to use Vegas.
Yeah.
This is like way before like my actual the SWT2 channel.
Yeah.
And I used to use like this really weird editor called like AV4 video something. Like it was like a video editor where like would make like put a custom watermark over every single video.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that was a time.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yeah. That would be pain. Yeah, I remember when I first started, I used a hacked version of what was the one made by Premiere Pro? What was it actually called that? There was one like how they've got Adobe has all those like Photoshop and editing software. I had like a hacked version because you have to pay like $100 for it.
Oh, right.
So I used that for a while, but the hack stopped working because I just found YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
I switched over to DaVinci Resolve, which is apparently one of the best ones with the professional editing and stuff like that. So if anyone looking to make content, definitely use that if you're just looking for a nice free option.
From what I heard, that's like it's a lot like how Vegas works too.
Yep.
So
yep. This aerospray.
So we got a DC, which was
and their aerospray has just been sitting under their goal the whole time. I was gonna jump to him with the pity, but I missed the pity and then jumped. So
it's all good.
No,
it's so unfortunate.
Yeah, he's running Respawn Punisher Vanilla Jet, the guy that DC'd. So don't know if we're gonna have much luck there.
Hey, I've ran a board like that. It's so much. It's actually not that bad as long as you don't die. It's just annoying to face again.
Does Respawn Punisher work when you get assists? I don't think it does. Because imagine you spam like burst bombs, toxic miss, just get a bunch of chip damage, and you just give them a bunch of extra respawn time.
True.
Alright,
level 35.
Back when you started, what kind of gear, like microphone, PC, whatever, because I know a lot of people, they just they feel like they have to deck everything out before they actually work their way up and actually make content. So I just want to ask, what kind of gear did you have when you started?
I actually have a video on this. It's like it was actually I did like a little like gaming setup video, but this is, fortunately for me, I had at the start as my Splatoon like content creating stuff, I already had a gaming laptop.
Yep.
It was literally just a gaming laptop, a 21-inch monitor, and a 720p capture card.
Yep.
So I was fortunate enough to have that because of all the Sonic videos I made. So like, it was kind of a thing where like, it wasn't really a thing I made enough money for it because like I kind of saved my money for all of that when my mum used to give me an allowance.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't have any of that if I didn't if I didn't get a decent allowance like that, because I had to I had to save my money for like maybe 14 months to even get a gaming laptop in the first place, because obviously still in school, don't have a job, and trying to basically make enough to get one eventually. So
what kind of PC gaming laptop did you have, like processor, what kind of stuff?
It was like an i7 47K, I think.
Yep.
It was a mobile CPU, and I had like a GTX 860.
Yep. Okay.
So it was on the low end.
Yep.
Definitely, but it's definitely still enough to be able to make videos and all that sort of stuff. So.
Yep. Because I remember I had some I just bought some tower PC that was like $600 from like, well, 600 my money, whatever that is in.
Yeah.
But that was like cheap. Like it wasn't even made for streaming or editing. I'm just like, you know what? I have this money. I'm just gonna buy it. I can't be bothered saving up because I already had a capture card, kind of just laying around. I got one earlier, I should say. So I just bought it. I was just like, I just want to like look at my Splatoon gameplay and whatever. And it was horrible towards the end. I had it for like a year and a half, and I could barely like record at like 720, 30 FPS at like 2000 was it megabits a second or whatever that was. Or bitrate. The bitrate was like 2000. It was horrible to watch, and I think those videos are still on YouTube, and it looks disgusting. I feel bad for that computer. It only lasted a year and a half, because gaming laptops for us over here are probably worth, to get a decent one would be 1500. So it was like a third of that price, and it was just like a normal like tower PC.
Right. That's really interesting.
And
I mean, like,
I was just gonna say, like, my webcam and like microphone was like scuffed, and everything. It was, I mean, it was alright for the time, because all I wanted to do was like review my own gameplay. But you know, for attempting to make content, it was just like, no.
It's a struggle. I mean, I think for anybody's start, it's like kind of a struggle. I mean, the laptop I had, I mean, it was great for what it did, but today it is so trash.
Yeah.
It is so bad. I mean, I spent like 1400 on it. At the time. And I mean, like, after like 2 years of using it, it just like, I don't know what happened to it. It just started slowing down. Like, even like just turning on the laptop itself. It like I had to spend like a good 5 minutes just trying to get into my an internet browser.
Like
it was crazy.
That was literally the same with my computer. Like I think it would take like 4 minutes to load up, and you have to put your password in. It would take another 2 minutes, and then you would have to like open OBS, Discord, all that. That would literally take another 3 minutes. Like I literally had to prepare all that stuff like 15 minutes advance to just open all the stuff and get it ready, and then the quality was just like pretty poor.
Terrible.
Yeah.
1 second, I just need to get my front.
Yep, no worries.
Sorry.
All good.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Not much has happened.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Sorry, just the Royal Mail.
Yeah. That happened to me today. I was playing in a +3 scrim, and the mailman came, and he had my new microphone and arm stand thingo that I bought.
Oh, see. Oh, that's real nice. Which one did you get?
HyperX Quad, whatever that one's called. Quad,
okay.
Something with an S at the end as well. It was nice.
It seems like it seems nice.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like quad in it.
Yeah. I looked at it. I was looking around. Like, I wanted to buy a decent one, you know, not just some scuffed $100 one, because my headset mic pro would have been better than that. And I'm like, ooh, these nice RGB lights fit in with the aesthetic of my room as well, and it also had good reviews for like good quality mic and all that. But you know, that was just like an extra little thing that pushed me over the line.
Yo, pretty lights.
Yeah, pretty lights. I mean, my LED strips are like $10. My local JB Hi-Fi, which is like our tech store. Oh my god. In Australia.
You got it.
Yeah. So that was that. But it looks nice. I like it. I've always been a fan of colourful things. Pretty lights.
I need to get some of those myself, actually. Yep. Like, I've been meaning to like get some like LED strips for like the back of my like my desk, just so, because I just kind of wanted to like look more gamer-like.
Yeah. I feel like when you're getting towards the top end of like content creation, like when you're streaming the stuff to make it look more interesting, you either use like green screen or you'd have like a nice background, like you show off your stuff and basically all that. I just feel like some people just don't put a lot of effort into that and like lighting and all that. I feel like that's a bit underappreciated by people who play games. Because like you could have a scuffed webcam and just put a nice LED like light, like a ring light or whatever, or just even a normal light, and it makes the quality look 100 times better.
Well, you could be like sitting in a garden chair and put some LEDs on it, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
I saw a meme of that the other day, just like, oh my god, guys, look at my gaming chair. It's just a garden chair with lights on it.
Bro, that sounds lit. I would love to be a part of that. I would pay to use that stream setup, bro. That sounds amazing.
Yo. That's peak quality, bro. Oh.
Look at that guy. Alright, just on the note of like, you know, the grind and how we talked about, you know, it takes forever and you've got to love your job if you actually want to do this.
Literally forever.
Yeah, literally forever. How long did it take you to hit certain milestones, like 1,000 subs on YouTube, maybe 10,000, like from when you seriously began, like in like Splatoon days? Like how long do you reckon it took you to hit like however many, like whatever you consider a big milestone?
Okay, so like let's say 10,000 was probably like my first milestone, because like when I started Splatoon, I already had like 1,000 subs from just all the Sonic stuff. But those 1,000 subs were all Sonic people, so you know, as a YouTuber, it's like it's kind of hard to like switch from one game to another, because like you don't know exactly how your base is gonna take it. I mean, luckily, it's pretty early when you have 1,000 subs, because you can kind of do whatever you want at that point.
Yep.
And you know, the people who watch you are probably gonna still enjoy it regardless. Yeah. So I'd say like my first 10,000 from Splatoon was like, wait, maybe I can actually check it out. It's like, it didn't take that long, because I remember there was a point when like I started streaming Splatoon. It was like maybe 2 weeks after the game released.
Yep.
And I just remember from YouTube and Twitch, it was like I was gaining like 1,000 subs like every single like 2 days, I think.
Oh wow.
If I remember correctly.
So for the viewers at home wanting to start, I don't think this is a good way to, you know, influence you to start making YouTube content, because that is pretty goddamn fast.
Yeah, yeah. Look, there's a reason for why it happened. It was like what's it called? I mean, this was at the very, very start, like from YouTube and Twitch. Like, I didn't actually get my first 10,000 till like 2016 in January.
Yep. Okay.
But I just remember there was a point where it was just like, it was literally just blowing up. And I mean, partly was because I made a video called like, what A rank is like, because A rank, or A plus was like literally the highest rank at the very early days of Splatoon.
Okay. Yep.
And I think somebody put that video on Reddit, and there were people like literally going crazy, like, oh my god, this guy is like insane. Like, he's really good at this game.
Yep.
So it's just like, I remember streaming one day, and like my first Splatoon stream got like 20 viewers, and then like the next one I did got like 100.
Oh my god.
Because it was just like, it was literally like people from that Reddit like going into my stream trying to figure out who this guy was, you know?
Yep.
So from that, it was like, once I saw that, I was just like, all right, I need to keep streaming.
Yep.
Like, I need to like
build this
just
up.
keep it going. Like, so it was like I was making videos and also streaming at the same time, like, every single day. So it was just like, just popping off, basically.
Yeah. What about like at that time? Because you had started grinding from there. What kind of like real life commitments did you have? Like, how old were you at that time? And like, were you still in high school? Like, job, whatnot?
I literally just finished college.
Yeah.
At that point, and I mean, I already made the decision that I wanted to take a gap year and like work for like a year or two.
Yep.
So then I got into lifeguarding at that point. So, you know, I mean, I didn't have a job at the time, but like, well, when I started Splatoon, but like I got it when I was like, I got my first job when I had like 1,000 or 5,000 subs.
Yep.
I remember telling my my interviewer, or I think interviewer, that's how to say it, that I started doing YouTube. I have 5,000 subs, and I've been playing this game, and a lot of people are seeming to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then he thought that was cool enough for me to be able to watch a pool. So, so
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, it was pretty much just that. I worked like as a lifeguard like 5 days a week, and then 3 days a week to a certain point, because like, I mean, I had worked there till Splatoon 2. I think it was like late. It was I continued to work there till like Ghost Gaming happened.
Yep.
Because like with Ghost Gaming, I mean, fortunately with a sponsor like that, they give you a salary, so it's like, you know,
Yep.
if I really wanted to commit to like content creation and all that type of stuff, this would probably be the perfect time, because I can support myself by being on Ghost Gaming and playing competitively as a pro.
Yep.
And also making content at the same time. So it was just like, you know what? Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah.
So
No, that's good. Like, I feel like it can really be a turning point for some people when they're on the verge of, you know, this could be a serious thing that they want to commit to, but some people might just be too scared and like pull out in case it fails, and then they have to go back to real life stuff or start again, kind of thing.
yeah. I kind of use that as like as a start, because like, I mean, I'm gonna be very real. Like, I didn't start YouTube and all that type of stuff like with the intention of I'm gonna get really big and I'm gonna make loads and loads of money, because, you know, during the Splatoon time, like, well, Splatoon 1 time, I barely made anything.
Yeah.
Or as like in salary wise, because Nintendo's like copyright laws and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they basically copyright claim every single one of your videos for like music and all that type of stuff. So it was, in general, it was all just for fun, until when like they stopped doing that content stuff, and I was just like, oh, I can actually I can actually support myself by doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, doing something I love to do. So it's something I kind of just had to. It's something I kind of really looked into just to, you know.
Yeah. That's good. Because right now for me, sometimes I get copyright strike, but I'm like, I don't really care, because I'm not even making money off of this stuff at all. So it's like, okay, you guys can just copyright claim that, and just, you're not gonna earn everything off it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I always found that funny. I just like just joked around with that and just had a laugh at it every time they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, for me too. Like, I kind of saw it because, like, I mean, I would get like a lot of views on like a Splatoon video back then.
Yep.
But I would always see it as a thing of, all right, I'm not gonna make anything of this, but the actual gain of people getting to know who I am and being really good at this game was kind of like a lot of the motivation. Well,
Yeah.
It was kind of a motivation for me too, because like I really liked people being like knowing that I'm really good at the game and all that type of stuff. So that was kind of one thing that kept me going with it too.
And how big was like the LAN scene, like local tournaments and all that back then? Like, how that all kick off?
So the very, very first one was by Endgame. They did Squid Storm 2016.
Yep.
That was like the very, very first one, and I mean, that kind of just kicked off from like all the like tournaments Endgame was kind of doing. Like, they did like this one league that was really pretty successful. They did Squid Storm, which like had some really banger Japanese teams back in the day. compete against the West. Like some like Omahyde and Tesla and Samurai Kids.
Yep.
Very, very old. But, you know, I mean, some players even from those days actually still play now. I remember, I think Yari Taiji, that's his name. Yep. He was actually one of those players that played in that too. And Nakura, Cross, all those players, like that was back in the day when online was like booming.
Yep.
Well, not really booming, but like, you know, becoming bigger. And, you know, we kind of like, I mean, I can't really speak for Endgame, but like, I just remember like back in the, like, that could have been a thing that made Endgame want to go forward with LANs on stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, because in Australia, our LAN scene didn't start until I think the first one, or actually, no, I can't remember. Not gonna lie, I thought I did, but I just lost it.
It's okay.
But the main TOs were kind of in South Australia, which is South of Australia. No, it's kind of like middle of Australia, but south. Ali Cat and Nico Sa, I don't know if you know those two.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard those names before.
Because Ali Cat basically just, you know, they had to go through 8 Wii U's, and that's why she's a junior main, so she had to go through all the, you know, level 1, get up to level however many you need to get into like private battles and stuff.
I see.
So that was their first LAN. I think it was like at a Comic-Con, some sort of thing like that. And they'll kind of just, you know, yo, this is a cool new game, come play. And no one really signed up, and it was kind of just a tournament like that where you just got fill-ins. Nothing came super serious until Splatoon 2, because it was much easier to set up LANs to start off with. And the scene just grew, because basically our like Australian championships for the Wii U, Splatoon 1, had like 16 teams.
Wow. Okay.
And then to the next one, it had like 100. So the scene was absolutely tiny back in Splatoon 1. Which
that's how it was like in a Squidstone. Like I think we had like 16 teams as well.
Yep.
Funny enough.
Yep.
But it was like I mean, I don't even think there was like one full team. It was like a bunch of pickups back then.
Yep.
So that was one. I mean, that was pretty cool. So.
Yep. Alright. Back to the content side of things. Did you notice like what kind of jump was there from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2, and how do you think Splatoon 3 will affect, you know, like YouTube content and streaming, and do you reckon there'll be just as big or less of a jump for that? So to start off with Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2.
Okay, Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, there definitely was a jump, like huge jump. I mean, at least with my like numbers and all that type of stuff, like I mean, during this time I was pretty popular in Splatoon 1, of course, but like when Splatoon 2 was being hyped up, like I was going from like viewership from like average of like 150 people to like straight up 800, 400.
Oh god, okay.
I remember like when when the demo came out for Splatoon 2, when they announced it and it was happening, like that was like one of my biggest streams.
Yeah.
Because it was just like there was so much hype behind it, and you know, if we talk about like how many people had Splatoon and a Wii U at the time, like it wasn't so many compared to like other previous Nintendo consoles. So I mean, in that aspect, that's pretty impressive. So it's like, you know, you only have like how many people, like 5 million people who have Splatoon 1.
Yeah.
With like 10. I mean, I don't know how many people have a Wii U now, but like, you know, you don't really have that many people.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of them would have been
Splatoon
Japanese as well.
Yeah, that too. It wasn't really like Splatoon even back then was very much Japanese dominated, and not so much on the west side. But if we fast forward to now, where like Nintendo Switch is an extremely successful console, where 85 something million people have a console,
Yeah.
and there's a new game called Splatoon 3, where I mean, I'm kind of like tripping over myself a lot, so I'm gonna try and dial it back a little bit. So like, Splatoon 2 came out at the very start of the Nintendo Switch like life cycle and all that type of stuff, like 3 months after it, and like not so many people had a Switch at the time. Not so many people had a Switch at the time, so it's like probably not so many people would get Splatoon 2 at that time. I'm tripping off myself so much. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. No stress. No stress.
It's like basically what I'm trying to say is that, in short, is that since there's a lot of people who have a Switch now, it is way more likely for like people to jump on the grind for Splatoon 3, since they didn't start with Splatoon 2 or didn't start with Splatoon 1 because they didn't have a Switch, because back in the day it was pretty hard to get one back then.
Yep.
But now, since so many people have it now, 85 million as I said, we're probably going to see a whole bunch of new players too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's good. That's good. It's what we wanna. It's what we wanna hear. I was kind of, thinking the same thing. Like it all comes down to who actually has the console. Like for younger people or just anyone in general, when you're, just buying gifts, birthday or whatever, people might just see a game and think it looks cool and buy it for their friend or whatever. And just because they know they have the console, they're like, yeah, I can buy this. Unlike if they don't even have the console to start off with and they want to play the game, it's like, okay, I have to buy the console, then buy the game. And like, you gotta weigh up that option, whether it's even worth buying that console to start off with. So definitely having that boost of 85 million people to start off with. And then when Splatoon 3 comes out, it would be a nice addition of players and all the rest of it. People to enjoy the game. It's kind of
like how, like, when you look at about like with like really popular PC games, like everybody has a PC. Well, not everyone, but like a whole ton of people have PCs. So it's like it makes it like for PC gaming much more accessible. So it's like when you know that there's this amount of customers that have the opportunity to get into this game without having to like buy something extra just to play it, which that extra thing is a console. Like it just makes it seem so much easier just to get yourselves into it. So that was a whole mouthful, so I'm so sorry if that sounded like it didn't make much sense, but there you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm actually up to pretty much my last question.
Cool.
Yeah, well, no one has been really talking in the Twitch chat. They've just been kind of talking about their own thing. Not many questions have been coming through. So if you have any questions for the last 5 minutes or so, the last game of this rotation probably, feel free to shoot that away. But for my last one, can Splatoon 3 be a tier 1 esport?
It can if Nintendo lets it.
Yep.
I feel like with Nintendo's support of like, I mean, I understand there's like the Japanese law where like it can't really like have these huge prize pots that kind of like make people think, oh, we gotta play in this tournament so we can win $100,000. Like it doesn't really have that kind of stuff. Like it has some things, but like, it's not the support. Like the support of the developers and the company behind the game needs to be there. Like when you look at it behind, like with other companies that do it so well, like Blizzard or Riot Games, or anything like that, even Activision with Call of Duty, like there's so much like backbone of support within the competitive side. That definitely does help with that and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I think just from the get-go, it's been lackluster. Obviously, Nintendo's not known for it's esports or competitive games or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because obviously the two games that are most competitive weren't even meant to be made to be competitive to start off with, like Smash and Splatoon. Like they didn't have the intention of making that competitive. But I think they're doing some baby steps. At least for the American team, we'll say that. Everyone else has just been kind of left in the dust.
Like the thing about it is that if they do take that direction, like how I mean, I know it could be just that they don't want to like ruin their reputation of like, because like I know it's like they really want to keep like their base very family friendly and all that type of stuff, or to a certain extent family friendly. So it's like it's not like certain types of groups of people not getting like offended with sort of certain things, maybe, if that makes sense. But like if they do take that direction of like how Riot and Blizzard have, like they could do so much. They'd most likely be making way more money out of their game, because they'll be having to promote their own game to people, but they're also going to be also be promoting their game in the highest level. And if Nintendo themselves are showing that, hey, their game can be played like this, it could interest so many people into wanting to be inspired or also play in this sort of way too, or even just in general, just to play the game in general because it looks fun.
Yeah.
So,
and just adding on, like that's obviously the major side of things, but for some of the things they've been doing recently, with like the medals during the Splatfest, a couple of regional little championships every like 4 or 5 months, whatever it has been for NA. If they do that for multiple other regions, whether they have a prize or not, like just a small prize of just you get a game code for ARMS or whatever it is, like that'll help the scene. Like that'll just be a little baby step for people to get introduced into the game, because I know a whole bunch of people from AU have been drawn into the competitive scene just by finding randoms on Facebook groups or whatever it might be, wanting to play in this online qualifiers, and then they play against people and then they introduce them to the Discord server, whatever it is. So I think those kind of little baby steps and just having more of them more frequently could definitely help as well. And I think that's not talked about enough. Everyone wants, the big $100,000 prize pool, big stage, like what they showed in the trailer, but I don't think people respect how much the little things do for a scene, especially like Splatoon.
All those little things like definitely help. It's just Nintendo just needs to do more of it.
Yeah, I think need to be a bit more consistent, if they can be, with regions and how often they do these kind of things. Just all that in general. So we do have a couple questions now from the chat. Hot milk or cold milk?
Oh, come on, this. So, all right, of course, I'm gonna pick hot milk.
Yep.
For a number of reasons, because it tastes good, man.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It feels good, man. But like, look, I primarily grew on hot cereal, mainly because I had a lot of chocolate cereal. And if you've ever had like hot milk with chocolate cereal, it is so good. It's literally just hot chocolate with cereal.
It's goated.
It's so good.
A good old I don't know if you had it over there, but Cocoa Puffs. I don't know if that's an Australian thing. Yes. I think we call it Cocoa Pops here. Oh yeah, Cocoa Pops. Why did I say Cocoa Puffs? Oh my god, that's my bad.
Oh,
that is my bad. But yeah, that like hot milk for me, obviously, and I also have like sensitive teeth, so like icy poles or like anything that's cold, like my teeth just die. Like it is pain. It is pain. I haven't got it fixed or anything. I just like can't be bothered. It's not as bad now, but when I was a kid, it was just pain. So in Australia, we have these things called Wheat Bix, which are like oat blocks.
Yes, I have that too.
Yep. And I would always have 3, and it put in the microwave for like a minute. So that was always my routine for my breakfast. So warm milk all the way, or hot milk, hot chocolates as well.
Yes. You can't. People will hate on it, but once you try it, you will understand.
Yep. I just want to quickly respond to YMax if you're still here, because apparently he's Australian and he doesn't know much about the comp scene. So I would be happy to hit you up and invite you to our Discord server and all that most Australians are in. Just want to quickly get that out of the way. EF Storm said, where do you think Splatoon 3 can improve Splatoon's core gameplay?
I mean, if we're talking core gameplay, I think we already got the core gameplay there. I mean, well, one thing Splatoon 2 kind of did is like remove some parts of the core gameplay away, like being able to paint under your feet with every weapon in the game.
Yep.
They kind of removed that with a lot of weapons, which, not gonna lie, I was extremely sad about. Or just, I mean, today I'm just annoyed about it.
Yeah.
It's like, there are times where like I'm just shooting and I'm just like, oh come on, how did like no paint like develop under my feet?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that would help a lot with countering, not exactly countering, but just being able to cope with main power-up weapons. Because you always just feel like you're getting stuck, kind of thing. But yeah, that was kind of the same with me. It's like I always feel like I'm getting stuck in ink. Like that would be the one thing I would change. Also, the new movement options they showed up in the trailer. Those are good, different ways to spice things up and trying to ambush.
Yeah. All those types of things. I mean, just not getting stuck in ink as much is probably like one of my biggest things. Like, I understand that it's if you touch enemy ink, then yeah, of course. But like, there are times where it's just like it feels like it shouldn't happen as much. You know? So.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. It was an absolute pleasure having you on for the first episode.
Hey, no problem.
I mean, not feel bad, but like, it's gonna be hard to, compete whoever's next up. And I actually think I know who's next up. It's Negus. That's how you pronounce it? I haven't heard anyone pronounce his name.
Negus. Yes.
Okay,
Negus.
Cool. Yeah, yes. So we're doing ours. It's gonna be my Saturday morning, his Friday night. We're gonna be on. I don't think we have an exact time planned. But for anyone watching on stream and you're keen to tune into the next one, that'll be the time. It'll be probably 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So like this time, but like in 12 hours. So just, flip that PM to AM or AM to PM. So yeah, that'll be that. And I'll obviously get a couple of more streamers and YouTubers on. We'll see how well these few videos go. I'll probably keep up with that. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you everyone in the Twitch chat for tuning up. Very much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.